everybody, and welcome to the Dice Tower. Welcome to my frozen cave at the Dice Tower. That is fitting because today I am going to be doing a solo playthrough of the second edition of Ice. This video is sponsored by This Way Games, who are the publisher of both the first edition of Ice and this second edition of Ice. I'm Mike DiLisio. I'm going to be your host and likely victim of the Automa in this solo playthrough, but we'll get to that in a minute. First things first is that the day that this video is released is the first day of the Gamefound campaign for second edition of Ice, and so you can take a look at the address right down below at the bottom of the screen and check that out if this game has any interest to you. If you were a backer of the first edition and kind of want to see what the new things are, this will give you a good idea of that. If you are brand new to Ice, but especially if you're a solo player and kind of want to see how that works out here, then hopefully that will be helpful to you as well. In the first edition of Ice, there was a solo variant, but it was based on points and achieving particular things to be eligible to win. In this game, you're actually facing off against an Automa opponent, and you've got to beat their score. And let me tell you, for me at least, it has not been a walk in the park. Not good for me so far, but I've won once. I'll just put that out there. I've won once. So look, for this special playthrough, I'm feeling pretty good about it. All right, well, before we get going to the table here, there's a couple of things I do want to point out, is that this game is going to be showing prototype components, and so there are likely going to be changes that are made between what you see here and what is delivered on the final product. Especially you'll see like the Automa board is made of foam core, where that will certainly not be the case in the finished game. One of the things that many people are asking, or will be asking, is what is different with this second edition compared to the first edition? Well, let's take a quick look here. I've got a little one sheet that will kind of run down the major points. So first thing is that the end game of the second edition is now after 4 days, where it was 7 in the original version, and so it does play significantly quicker, I have found. As far as the board and the tiles go, now there are 3 layers of tiles instead of 5. You've got the snow tiles on the top, then you've got the surface artifacts and the deep artifacts on levels 2 and 3, and then that final bottom of the board is going to correspond to the edifice layer that is now illustrated rather than tiles, which it was in the original game. You can excavate snow tiles more cheaply. They're not random anymore. You have at least a 33% chance of knowing what's on the back of any particular snow tile. You'll see that graphic at the bottom there that'll kind of emphasize that. The way you draw request cards is a little bit different. There's a brand new action, which is called the Artifact Study action. And essentially what that allows you to do is for 1 EP, or exploration point, you can take a study token of the artifact type that your leader is on. And what that basically means is that that study token is going to act as a Anima 1 artifact of the related color. And you'll see how that plays out here in the game, but that's just kind of a general overview of the changes with the first edition and the second edition. All right, so I think it's about time we head over to the table and take a look at what we have. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, there we have our beautiful board laid out in front of us. The general thematic idea here is that we are explorers. Both our guilds, we both have a particular guild that we are the leader of, and these architects that are out there on the board seated as well are also considered to be explorers, but they are neutral. They can help either myself or the Automa, all right? The setup I have is the standard way to set up the game, which is that you've got your your expedition tile, I believe it's called, in one of these 3 spots in the middle, and it has a neutral camp and a archaeologist on it, and then everyone, and actually I missed one here, boop, I meant to do that to show you. Every one of these tunnel snow tiles are going to have an archaeologist on it as well. There is a different way you can handle it now, actually, if you wanted to. Right now, I have 3 logbook cards in this deck, and this is actually the timer of the game because we play through 4 days and you don't use one of these on the first day unless you wanted to do an alternate setup for the archaeologist. In that case, you would take one of the extra logbook cards that you weren't using and you would flip it over at the beginning of the first day and it would show you, there we go, I'm a little challenged with that, that instead, look at that little symbol at the top, it's showing a rift tile. It's saying that instead of putting them on the tunnel tiles, you can go ahead and put them on the rift tiles instead. So it's just a little minor variation that you can choose to use if you don't want to always have the archaeologist starting on the tunnel tiles, okay? So before I get started with the actions here, I'm not going to be doing a full teach, okay? This is not a teaching video per se. It's a playthrough video where I'm spending most of my time talking about how this new Automa system works. If you have played the first edition of ICE, you're going to see a lot of the things you're familiar with. Much more that's going to be familiar than unfamiliar. And if you've never played ICE before, I still think you're going to get a pretty good idea on how the game plays, even though that's not going to be my major focus. I'll kind of show things as I go, and I think that'll help you out whether you've played the game or not. Okay, so starting from that, I've got my guild here. I have chosen the Incandescence Guild that I'm going to be controlling. And this will tell me a couple of things. Number one, it tells me any of the renown points, which are victory points, that I start the game with, and it shows that I have 2. So I've got those 2 renown points right there. Also, it gives me a particular ability, and the ability of the incandescence is as follows. I've got this little token here. Once a day, which is essentially a round, once a day I can place this activation token on my board, spend it essentially, and what it'll allow me to do is activate the artifact power of whatever tile that my leader is on. So, at the beginning of the game, when it's all snow tiles and none of the artifact tiles available, it's not going to be something I can use. But once we start seeing artifact tiles, it's something that can be very, very useful to me if I use it well. And that's not always the case. I will just tell you now. And I don't always use my guild power well. All right. Over here, we've got the Automa board, and they're going to be playing as the Ice Walkers Guild. And what that means is that they're going to have a particular way that after they have excavated a tile, they're going to be able to place their leader and the archaeologists in a way that is favorable to them, and I'll show you that difference when it gets to that point. They're going to be, they being the Automa, are going to be taking actions based on this Automa deck that has been built and shuffled at the beginning of the game. The way it works is that 4 of the cards that are in that deck will be used no matter what guild the Automa is playing at. So they're always going to be in there. Then you've got 3 cards that are specific to the guild. And then finally, you have 3 cards that are considered or called X cards. They're going to be coming from a larger stack of cards. You choose 3 of them randomly out of that stack. You place them into the Automa deck, you shuffle the whole thing around, and you've got a deck of 10 cards, okay? So you will see how that works shortly. Let's get into the first turn of the game. I am the start player on the first day. Next day, it'll come over to the Automa. But for the time being, I'll be taking the first turn. If you look along the left side of my guild board here, you're going to see a little token that starts on the 5 spot. 5 of the EP. So EP stands for exploration points. Think of them essentially as action points. And so I start each day with a base of 5 EP. There is a way I can get more, but generally I start with 5 EP. And you don't spend all of them on a turn. The 5 EP are what's going to constitute a day. A turn means that you're going to be using 1 or 2 of those exploration points. There are ways to get a third, but it essentially will cost you a victory point or a renown point to do so. So you save that for really, really important times that you might need to use it, okay? So essentially, I'm going to be taking 1 or 2 exploration points on my turn, then it's going to go to the Automa, and you'll see how that works. So, I am not on the board, all right? So my first action, my first exploration point will be spend placing myself on the board. So how can I do that? First of all, let me go ahead and spend this 1 EP, because either way I do it will cost 1 EP. I can either place my expedition leader on an already existing camp, okay, like so, or I can build out a camp myself and place myself on that camp. So, looking around here, there's a couple of things I'm going to consider. When the Automa comes onto the board, they're going to come into what is called the highest rank space. And right now, the highest rank space is right here because it is surrounded by the most architects. So I could build a camp there and start there and try to maybe foil a little bit of what the Automa can do, which is not necessarily a bad strategy, although it puts me in close proximity with the Automa, and that doesn't always work to my advantage. Sometimes it's nice to be on other edges of the board, although they have an action that can just warp them to your spot. But you know what? I think I am going to do that. I spent my 1 exploration point. I'm going to go right here and place my expedition leader there. Okay. So these snow tiles here that are the surface layer cost 2 exploration points to excavate. These, I want to get the name of them right. I want to get the name of them right. I think I always call them Nunavut, but I don't think that's right. They are known as Nunatak tiles. Thank you. Gotta check myself. Nunatak tiles. These would add an extra exploration point to be able to excavate, as would a camp or a tile covering. You'll see all of those probably in this game. So what I think I might do is just simply move there. Okay, so that would be my second exploration point. And now, normally you would think, well, you can't do anything else. You've spent 2 unless I wanted to spend a renown point to be able to take a third, which I do not want to do. However, when you look at the tiles, you take their base cost to excavate and you subtract 1 for every explorer that is on that tile. Explorer means either an expedition leader or an archaeologist. So right now, this tile base would cost 2 to excavate. But with me and that archaeologist on it, I can do it as a free action. So I can actually excavate that right now. Okay, so I will use this cool little pick to get it out. You don't need to, but I think it's fun. And then this is going to have some type of a ability on it that I could use for a free action anytime, including right now if I want to. This one says, place 1 archaeologist on the tile of your leader and on the tile of another leader. So this is interesting because if I play it now, I don't have to worry about the other leader because he's not on the board yet. So this is probably the only time that this tile would help me and not the Automa. So what I'm going to do is this. When I place specifically, whatever was on top of the tile, it has to go as evenly as possible distributed amongst the 3 tiles, usually 3 tiles, that are below what you excavated, okay? And I can pick any one of those tiles to start with my expedition leader on. The ice walkers here are going to be able to break that rule, as you'll see very soon. So I think what I might want to do is come here, taking a risk. I'm going to go right there. And this would then go there, clockwise. And now I think what I might do is go ahead and spend this snow tile, get a archaeologist from the supply, and put it on my tile right there to hopefully be able to take it. So when you move, you can pick up on the way and bring up to 3 archaeologists with you. So that's why it helps to have archaeologists on your leader's tile. All right, I went a little slower because we're just getting started, but that was my first turn. I spent 2 exploration points, and now we get to the Automa, and we're going to see how that works. I need to hydrate for that. delicious. Okay, so we flip over the first Automa card, and let's see what we have here. This is card X14, so why don't we get you a little bit of a close-up for that. All right, so this is the Automa card. The first thing, the way you actually do these cards, the way you evaluate them is left to right, top to bottom, okay? And every valid action that you can take, you will take. The first one is always going to be a certain number of exploration points it's spending on that turn. So in this case, 2, which is nice because if they get a lot of 1 cards, they can just do a lot of stuff on their turn. This next icon says that if there was a level 2, level 2 artifact on the Automa board, you can activate it. There is none. This says to excavate. Cannot excavate because they're not on the board yet. This next one would be spend a snow tile to activate a power. That's not valid. The excavation, is not valid. Now we're going to see this third row on the left is activate the Automa's leader. So now we're going to be placing it on the board. Okay, when they are off the board, what they're going to do is they are going to build a camp on the highest ranked spot, okay, which I described before is the spot that has the most architects on and around those tiles. Okay, so let's take a look right now. This has a strength of 3. You have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you don't take my leader into account there. This has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This has 3. This has 3. So this is where the Automa is going to go because that has the highest ranked spot that I can see right now. Hopefully I'm not missing something. Actually, they will always build a neutral camp first. So let's put a neutral camp there, and let's put the Ice Walker's leader right there. Okay, so they have activated their Automa and they're on the board. Now it says to excavate. They cannot. They don't have enough strength to do so. This next one says activate the leader as long as it does not go on to the space that my leader is on. Okay, so when the Automa has 0 or 1 archaeologists in their space, what they really want to do is get archaeologists. Once they get 2 archaeologists, they're going to start looking to excavate, all right? So I can look at my little aid here, and it says, if I am on a tile with no archaeologists, then what I do is I put an archaeologist on that tile, okay? So that was activating, getting one on that tile. Now it says excavate, and they can do so now. If it were me, I would not necessarily be able to because this would cost me 1 extra exploration point. But the Automa ignores any of the extra costs involved with doing excavation. All right, so what they're going to do is get this tile. What did I do with the pick? There it is. They're going to get this tile. I don't look at it because it just goes face down into a stack that the Automa is going to use to spend to do other stuff. All right, so now they're going to be going here. The way this is going to work is that you'll go to the Automa leader will go to the first valid spot, okay? And the first valid spot in this case would be using a tiebreaker because they have 3 valid spots there. What that marker up there is showing is that on day 1, if you are having to do a tiebreaker amongst spots or tiles, things along those lines, you will go from left to right, top to bottom in reading order, okay? So if I were to do that and going all the way along, the first one would be here, okay? So they're going to go there. Normally what would happen is this archaeologist would go right there. That's how I have to do it. But the Ice Walkers do not. It says they can place the first archaeologist on the same spot. Okay, then they distribute the other pieces. And then we'll put the camp right here. Okay. I believe the camp goes there. I know normally the Automa wants to have a camp in their space, but let me just make sure that that's only if it goes around again. I just want to double check that because that's a little nuance that I have not necessarily memorized as of yet. Let's talk about camp building. Okay. 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 Excavations. Just double checking this. Distribute the leader archaeologist. Okay, first valid space. Archaeologists. If a camp was present on the excavated tile, that camp should possibly be placed together with the Automa's leader. So, possibly, to me means that it will actually go here. Okay? That may be something that gets clarified. Another thing I should mention is that the solo rulebook is not completely final. It's pretty darn close as far as I'm concerned, but they may have some little nuances, things that they're going to explain, exceptions, maybe some ambiguities like that perhaps. Maybe I'm just too dense. That could be. It might be perfectly clear. Okay. That was Automa's turn. Let me go ahead and take this card down. There we go. Discard that. Now, I've got two of which I can spend. I can spend one or two. I can choose to just spend one on this turn and then leave two for my last turn of the day. But I'm in a pretty good spot. I do like where I'm at. I've already used my fluent move, so I cannot... Have I used my fluent move? Did I use my... No, I think I saved my fluent move. And if I haven't explained, because I can't remember if I explained a fluent move, that means that I think I did explain it. I can move 2 spaces for 1 EP. I'm going to actually assume I did do it. All right. Just for the sake of being as fair as possible, let's spend 1 exploration point, and we'll move right here. I can now do that for free. Let's see what I get here. All right, this is a Harmony Talisman. It says I can excavate a yellow artifact tile for free if my leader is on it. That's a great tile, so I'm sure I'll have a chance to use that. As a matter of fact, this is good, folks. This is good. Okay, I'm gonna go here, there, and there. I've only still spent 1 EP. Now, this tile can be excavated because there's only 1 tile that is covering it. Normally, this would cost me 4, okay? Because it's a 3 cost tile for the artifacts, and then 1 for having an extra tile on top of it. And I only have 1 strength, so I would need 3 more. But I just got this lovely Harmony Talisman, and I can expedite this for free. I'm going to do that. That's wonderful. So this actually just kind of goes away, gets discarded to the bag. Now I'm going to be able to get this artifact token for free, which is great. And I'll go ahead and place my leader right there. Okay? So this gives me what is known as 1 anima in the yellow or Harmony tokens. This is that little dot that you can see to the right of the symbol for this particular artifact. When there is 2 anima, which are the lower tiles, then it would be worth 2. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to go ahead and place this on my guild board. I will not be able to activate this until I can get 2 animas worth. Okay, but that makes me very happy, and I'm actually at this point considering just spending the 1 EP this time and try to do a better turn on my last turn of the day. So I'm done for the day. We go to the Automa. Here we go. And this, oops, let's get it in the correct orientation here, is X15. There we go. So first things first is spend the 2 EP, which I will do right there. Activate a level 2 artifact. They do not have that. Excavate. They are not on a valid excavatable, if that's a word, tile, because this tile they're on is covered by 2 others. This next one says to gain a study token, which is that new action I talked about, of the type that the leader is standing on. So let me move these for a moment and see. They are on a blue artifact tile. So I'll take one of these blue study tokens and I will place it on the Automa board. And it says to get a planning token. This planning token is something that you can get. I have to pay to do it, but they're getting it as part of their card. And what this means is that at the beginning of the next day, they're going to turn this in. Actually, at the end of this day, they're going to turn this in and reset not to 5, but to 6. Okay? So they've done that. Excavate, they still cannot. Now activate. So they're on a camp with one tile and the leader. So what they want to do is move to a adjacent tile with a archaeologist. There is only one adjacent tile with an archaeologist, so they will go there. The camp doesn't go with them. That just stays right there. Now they can excavate, and they will. Okay, so let's get these. That goes into their stack. And now we're going to evaluate this. That means that the the leader will go there because of their guild power. The archaeologist goes there, and then the other archaeologist goes there. Okay. Now it says activate again as long as it's not to a space with my leader. So they have one archaeologist. They want to get 2. This one is adjacent. So they did that, and now excavate. They are not on a tile that they can excavate. All right. That was theirs. Now I have 2 because I only spent 1 in the last one. So let's see what I want to do. I have a couple of options here. Let me move that better on that tile. I'd love to start working down and get one of these deep artifact tiles. That would be lovely. I'm also going to be thinking about the request cards that I was given. Now these I just got randomly at the beginning of the game. I drew 2 off the top of the deck. If you're playing multiplayer, you can do it any number of ways. You can even draft them if you want to. So what I'm looking at right now is I want to have 3 artifact tiles, 3 anima of artifact tiles in either red or green, and you can, I believe, mix and match on those. I can double check that if that becomes an issue. Here I need 3 anima in the white or exalted tile. Okay, so those are things I'll be thinking about a little bit, maybe trying to favor those color tiles over others for the time being. I also see up here at the end of the game that yellow anima is going to give you some points as well. And those you can trigger off as much as you want. You don't spend tiles for those. Okay, 2 EP. I'm almost thinking, do I want to build a camp and just get to a better spot? Or just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend 2 EP and move here and here. Now, I'm not going to be able to excavate it this turn because both of those would be, you never go more than 1 extra cost, but so this is going to cost, oh, wait a minute. That's a snow tile. So that actually is a base of 2. And, oh no, I want to excavate this tile, which is a base of 3 with 1 on top of it, it's 4. So I can't do that. I'm hoping next day I can do it. So that's my turn. Go back to the Automa. We've got card, oh, I should have got rid of that card before, but that's okay. We're at card 4A, so this is the card that we are evaluating for them. They spend their last EP, okay? Then they would activate a anima token if they could. They only have a 1 anima of blue, so they can't activate it. They cannot excavate. It says spend a snow tile to move a archaeologist that is adjacent to their spot. So they will do that. They got to spend a snow tile to do it. Excavate, they cannot. Now activate, which they're definitely going to be doing. Now, what they want to do, the Automa always favors lower tiles. Of course, they're better. And one that they can excavate. So in this case, they would activate by going over here. All right. Going over there. And now they can excavate that tile because it's really only a cost to them of 3. So this tile is going to go away. That will just come back to me. This gets removed. All right, and they're going to activate this tile, or they're going to excavate, I should say, this tile, sorry. All right. Oops. All right, now they have a blue anima tile and a blue study token. So if they get that activate a level 2 artifact tile in the future, they'll be able to activate that tile, which is going to give them more EP. Don't love that power for them. All right. I think I did all of that card. I believe that was all of that card. Okay. If not, I apologize. So their power says this, and then 1 will stay there, 1 will stay there, the camp will stay with them. Okay? If a deep artifact tile gets excavated, the camp doesn't drop down, it just can't have them in the city. All right, so was that there? I want to make sure I didn't cheat them out of actions. They spent 1, they couldn't activate, they couldn't excavate, they moved 1, they couldn't excavate, they moved, oh, I think they still do have this bottom, I think they still have this bottom row to do. So they activate to a place that is not where my leader is, all right? So they can't go here, but they will go using the tiebreaker, they will go here, right? And excavate, they cannot. All right. I think I evaluated that correctly. Folks, that's the end of day 1. That's the end of day 1. So the first thing that I do at the end of day 1, or at the end of any day, is this is a different way of getting request cards. It used to be done in a slightly different fashion, but now this is one where I can look at the top 3 cards, and I can choose if I want to spend 1 RP, or victory point, to keep one of these cards to add to the 2 that I got at the beginning of the game. So this one is saying 3 anima in yellow or blue. That kind of at cross purposes with the other one I have. This one is saying 3 different shapes of the white tiles, and since I'm going to be trying to get 3 anima of white, this could piggyback well off of that. This is 2 anima in white or yellow. That's pretty easy to get, but this one has a potential of 8 points. So I think I'm going to try this one because it's a gamble, it's a risk, because I'm spending 1 for sure, okay, so I'm giving up 1 victory point for sure, and then, but I'm hoping that it can give me a return of 7, okay, because it gives me 8 points there. If I'm wrong, and I cannot, if I can't fulfill that tile, then it's going to be -1. Yeah, however, I may have been stupid there. Let me rethink that, because when you fulfill these requests, you are actually spending the tiles to do so. So this would not be a good decision for me, because I would have to spend 1 or 2 tiles to do this one. Then I'd need another potentially 3 to do that. So Mike, that's not smart, buddy. That ain't smart. I'm going to take my renown point back. That wasn't smart, okay? It was a cute idea, but not so good. So not going to do that. Now we're going to reset our exploration points, our EP. The Automa has a planning token, so they'll turn that back in, and they're going to go to 6. If we had spent any of our, used any of our artifact tiles or study tokens, we'd flip them back over. And first player is going to pass. So the Automa will be the first player in day 2. Another thing that I do is now move this over to this side. And so now when tiebreakers come for the Automa, it's going to be right to left, top to bottom in reading order. Okay? That is that, I believe. Now we have our first logbook event of the game. Okay? So here we go. Let's see what this tells us to do, because that's 2, 3, and 4. Artifact study. Each player can take an artifact study token they don't already have. If a player has all 5 types of token, they take 2 renown points instead. So this is nice. One thing I could do is I can get a yellow study token to be able to do this for free on my turn. The action that is associated with the harmony tiles are, after I excavate and allocate the archaeologists, I take one archaeologist from the reserve and I put it on my tile, so on my leader space. So that's not bad. But I know that I need anima in these. I really, because these are terrible if I don't. So I'm going to forego the instant gratification, and I'm going to get a white study tile, which is the Exalted, because both I like the power, and it will help me potentially fulfill that request card. Okay? Now, the Automa also is going to get a study token that they don't already have. So in this case, they have a blue. But what they're going to do, so they wouldn't get a blue, you can only ever have one type of study token. They're going to go in numerical order. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see on the board, and they will get a red study token. All right, there they go. They've got 2 study tokens. I have 1. I have it turned to the spent side. And we're ready to go. We're ready to go into day 2 of 4. All right, so Automa goes first, and they've got 6 EP that they're starting this day with. That can spell trouble for your man, Mike DiLisio. Let's go. Let's find out. Well, looks like we've got card 5A. I keep leaving the old ones up there, but that's not a big deal. There's nothing up in that corner anyway. All right, 5A. Here's what they're doing. First, they're spending 2 exploration points. So they're down to 4 now. They started at 6. And now they can activate a level 2 anima because they have 2 anima in blue. They're going to flip this and flip this because that's the 2 anima they need to spend. And now they look on their board, or I look on their board to see what they do. What do you know? They add an exploration point. They're back up to 5. All right. Now, they cannot excavate because they're not on a valid tile. Spend a snow tile to activate, so I'll do that. They have 1 snow tile left. And so now they have a leader and 2 archaeologists. Now they want to excavate if they can. They cannot come here and excavate this because this is covered by multiple tiles. All right. They cannot excavate there or where they're on. So instead of that, what they're going to do is move up if they can, and they can. They will move up, because this is not adjacent, they will move up here because I'm using, left to right, top to bottom. They'll actually move up there, right? Whoops. Stay. And because of their power, that's going to go there, and that will go there. All right. I believe I did that right, and hopefully I didn't mess things up too much down there. So when they have 2, they're going to try to move up. Why did they have to? If they had 2 with them, they're not going to distribute them. They just do that. I think that's right. I think I was cheating them a little bit there. It's only when you excavate that you do that. Okay, now it says excavate. They still cannot. Now they are going to activate, and now they are at a place where they can excavate a tile. They prefer lower ones, but that's not valid, and it's also not adjacent. So they're going to go there. Now excavate. All right, let's give them that snow tile. That goes in their spot. The first valid spot is going to be here because of their power. That archaeologist goes there, and the second one goes there. Activate. They're going to activate again. They have 1 archaeologist. They want 2. They're going to come right here. Excavate. They cannot. Activate to a place where I am not. Now, they're in a situation where there is no excavatable tile. Again, I don't know if that's a word. And there is no archaeologist adjacent to them. So now what they're going to do is they're going to build a camp. All right. So to build a camp, first they would build a neutral camp, but there are already 2 on the board. So they're going to use their own camp. And they're going to put that camp on the space that has the highest rank and move there. So this is a rank of 3. This is a rank of 3 because that is not adjacent. So 1, 2, 3. That's also not adjacent. This is 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's where they're going. They're going right there. Okay. Did I do that correct? I believe I did. That's the highest ranked spot on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, now it says to excavate, and they can excavate this tile. All right, this is going to go back to the supply. This tile will go away, and now they'll excavate this red tile. All right, they will go here, and they want to put their camp with them. Now the red tile is going to go here. It now can be activated because they also have a red study token. All right. I don't like that. I don't like that. They got quite a bit done on that turn. All right. Now my first turn of the day, I do have my activation token for my guild. I can excavate this for free. So there's no reason not to do that. It doesn't cost me any EP. It is a green, which is good for this request card. Let me think, before I go crazy, let me think if I want to... I'm standing on green, so I could use my power for that. What that is that means that you can collect the tile at the moment it's being discarded from the board. I don't want to do that. I will just excavate it for free, all right? So, here we go. Here we go. Green goes on my board. Okay. And I'm going to go here, then there and there, I believe. Still haven't spent any EP, which is lovely. I also have my fluent move if I would like to use it. Would I like to use it? I'm really looking to get white tiles, but right now I don't see a single white tile on the board. I see a couple of prismatic tiles which act as wild, so I could use them as a white tile at the end of the game, potentially. No, let's just, I want to get tiles. I'm going to spend 1 EP, do my fluent move, and go here, here. This is now free to me to excavate, so I will. And I will place my leader here, and I'll go here for that one, clockwise. Let's see what this snow tile says. It says, move up to 2 archaeologists from a tile to a tile with a camp. Doesn't do a whole lot for me right now, but if I end up here maybe, then I can get, I'd have 3 with me. So that might be useful for that, okay? I still have 1 more EP. Boy, would I love to be able to excavate that tile. I sure would. But that would cost 4. And right now I've got 1. So maybe just set myself up for that. Perhaps. Just set my... Because what would be nice is if I can excavate this tile, then I can potentially excavate that tile. I'm afraid the Automa is going to get that one. All right, I don't think I've got a chance to dispute them if their card works out that way. First of all, speaking of card, let me remove their card. Let's just use my second EP of this day to go... I cannot use my guild token for this because there is no associated artifact with the prismatics, so I'll just go right there and hope to set myself up for a nice turn. Okay? Okay, so that was the end of my turn. First turn on day 2. Let's go to the Automa. This is card 3A. Let's take a look. All right. So they will be spending 1 RP. They're down to 4. They just get 5 renown points. They just get them. They don't have to work for them. They don't got to do nothing. 5 RP. These slacker ice walkers, man. I hate everything about it. I'm disgusted by their behavior. 5 renown points for them. Not good. Okay, now excavate. They cannot excavate where they are. Spend a snow tile to excavate. They're not going to do that. They don't spend the tile. Excavate again. Nope. Activate. All right. So they are on a space with themselves and one camp. So space by themselves in a camp. So they're going to bring one to their tile. Boop. Excavate, not a chance. Activate to a space where I am not. So they want to go to a space. They're at camp and one. Camp and one means they want to move to an adjacent space with an archaeologist. So they have two valid spots. They've got this spot and this spot are both adjacent to them, but using that tiebreaker, they're going to be going here. All right, so the camp stays there. They go there. Excavate, they cannot. All right, there we go. Now, what am I going to do? I know I was setting up for this. I've already used my fluent move, so maybe, yes. I don't know. I'm going to move for 1 EP. Bada bing. I am going to, I had a plan. What was I going to do? Ah, yes. Spend this snow tile, move up to 2 archaeologists from a tile to a tile with a camp. And it can be, it doesn't say adjacent. It just says move up to 2 from a tile to a tile. I'm going to steal some of the Automa's archaeologists. That's right, baby. That was nice. And now I still actually have 1 RP. What I would love to do is just move right there and get that one. I can do this for free and still probably set myself up pretty well for going to that one, because I haven't spent both. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'll excavate this. Let's move this here for now. All of the stuffs is going to go on those 3 tiles. This gives me, when you excavate, split 2 additional archaeologists on the tiles underneath. Ooh, this could be juicy right now. So I know that I want to excavate that tile. So maybe I do this. I start here. And then I go here. Then I go here. Then I go here. Then when you excavate, split an additional 2. So, yeah, I had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can put another one there and there. Let's do it. Those will come from the supply. There and there. All right. I can now excavate this tile for free because it's a 3 plus 1 is 4. It would not be free. I'd have to spend my second EP to do that. Whereas instead, I think it might behoove me to get a prismatic tile to help me with my request. So I think with that EP, I'm going to move here and hope that the next Automa card does not allow them to move onto my space, because they have a card that'll let them do that. Okay, I'm taking a calculated risk. How am I calculating? No idea. I'm not so good in math. All right, here we go. It is the Automa's turn. All right, so this is card 7A. Let's get rid of 3 and let's look at 7. All right, so this one is going to be only spending 1 exploration point. Activate a level 2 artifact. Well, right now their red is valid, but the red power is to discard an adjacent snow tile. There is no adjacent snow tile to them, so they're just going to skip that. Maybe later on in this day, or they'll be able to use it. Excavate, they are not in a place to excavate. This next one says if they have 0 to 1 architects, they can spend a snow tile to move their architect to the highest ranked spot. They do have one snow token, so they're going to do that. Let's hope it doesn't bring them to me. No, but it's going to... Yeah, this is clearly the highest ranked spot, right? Because they've got 2, 4, 6 around them. Yeah, it's not even close. So they're going to go right there, which I don't love. Excavate, they cannot, because this costs them 3. Activate, well now they're going to go over here, okay? Excavate, this is not a valid excavatable tile. Activate, all right? So they want to, again, they have 2 archaeologists. They want to go to an tile they can excavate, and they want lower level tile. So right now, they're going to go here because it's on the lower level. They wouldn't go there or there. They go here because they can excavate that tile. So that's what they're doing there. Now the next action is to excavate, so they will do that. This gets discarded to the bag. They're going to get this yellow artifact tile, all right, which is going to go here on their board. It's level 1, thankfully. Remember that these lower deep artifact tiles are the ones that have 2 anima, okay? Now they're going to, first let me spread these out the way they should be, which is here, here, and here, and whoo! Their next one is to activate, but they can't go into the space where I am, because otherwise they'd go right there and they would snake that tile out from underneath me, but they can't. You can't. Instead, they're going to go here because they have 1. They want to get a second. They're going to go right there. Excavate, they can't. Wow. Okay. So now I have 1 EP. This costs 4. I have 3, so I have to spend my last EP to excavate this tile. Yes, this cost me 4. I have 3. Okay, so I'm going to spend my last exploration point. This goes bye-bye. This prismatic tile comes on my board. Now, I can place this anywhere I want to. And at the end of the day, I can rearrange this. So right now, I can put this in a place where I can activate any one of these. But I really like the Exalted's power. So let me first do my placement here. I'm going to go here, here, and here. Then I'm going to spend this and my study token, okay, for an exalted tile, which says, I can't. I can't do it. I have to spend an exploration point to do it. Oh, well, it was worth a shot. All the other ones are free, so do I want to do either of the other? I don't want to do that. Yellow, no. No, I'm good. I'm good. Did I use my guild power at all? I didn't. I didn't. Not good. Not good. Okay. But I think at the beginning of the next day, what I'm going to do is activate this, bring the archaeologists to me, and excavate this deep tile. All right, I think that's what I'm going to do because I'll have first turn in the next day. However, it's not the end of the day. It's the end of the day for me. The Automa has 3 EP left. That can mean literally up to 3 cards that they evaluate. All right, let's see how it goes. Okay. You know, I'm finding this water that I'm drinking to be lacking because all of this fresh spring water is here, coming from the deep ice caves. It's so cold and refreshing. I'm stuck with Brita filtered water. Terrible. All right. Card 6A. 6A. There we go. This spends 2 of their exploration points. Can they activate a token, a artifact tile, I should say? They could do red, but there is no adjacent snow tile. These are not snow tiles, so they will not do that. Excavate, they cannot, that's not a valid one. They don't have a snow tile, so this would have allowed them to move on to my space if they had a snow tile. Oh, actually, that's only if they have 0 or 1 architects, so they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. Can't excavate. They get a planning token, yuck, and they activate, all right? So they want to excavate a tile. They have 2, and they can't excavate any of these deep tiles. They can excavate that tile, so I believe that that is going to be their move. They go here, this goes bye-bye, and they excavate this tile. Alrighty. And this is going to go on their board. Now they actually have 3 anima in red, which, depending on what their request card is, that could be bad for me. I mean, because I don't know what they've got there. But just having a lot of anima is not great for me. Okay. So I did that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go here, here, and here, because again, their power. That worked out well for them. Excavate, they cannot because this is covered by 2 tiles. And this bottom row I hate with a passion. What it says is draw another card from the Automa deck, evaluate it, but ignore the exploration point cost. This is terrible for me. All right, this goes away. We activate another one. So I don't evaluate, oh, first of all, this is 2A. Let's look at 2A. I don't evaluate the EP, I just evaluate what's next. So, level 2 anima tile. They've spent that, they are still not adjacent to a snow tile. If they were up here, they would have been able to use it to get rid of that one, but they're not. Excavate, they can't yet. If they have 0 to 2, spend a snow tile to add 1, but they don't have a snow tile. Excavate, they cannot do that. Get a study token of the type that they are on. They're on white, so they do not have that one, so they will get a study token for that. Bummer for yours truly. That is the one they're on, right? I keep hoping it's not. It is. They already have a planning token. Excavate, they cannot. Move, activate to a place where I'm not. None of these deep, oh, I lied. Yes. They're going to take that tile right out from under me. That's the danger, right? That's the danger you get. They are going to take that right out from under me because they could go here, but this is a lower tile. They can excavate it. That's where they're going. Okay, right over here. This crushes my heart. Excavate. They're not even done for the day. All right, let's do this. We do this. Now, they are lousy with red anima. They've got 2, 3, 4 red anima. Are you kidding me? All right, and now you can see a glimpse. You can see a glimpse of the city below, the ancient city that I should remember the name of. The ancient city of, Nuka, the ancient city of Nuka. I was just building tension, right? Okay, so you see that. Now, this is only 2 spaces because in the ancient city, in Nuka, there are larger spaces sometimes, all right? So there are only 2 to distribute. So we know that they are gonna start here and there. Now let me double check and make sure. I think they try to keep me away from them. I do believe that's the case. Let me just check that. Okay, if present, place your own leader continuing clockwise, trying to put it in the space with the least archaeologists. Okay. So I would go here, he would go there, and he would go there. Okay, so that's how that worked out. Believe it or not, they're not done. They've got 1 more EP. Let's hope that this next card doesn't give them EP somehow. Here we go. This is card 1A. It looks like it does not. Okay, first thing, spend that last exploration point. They're not next to a snow tile, so that will not trigger. The blue has already been spent. Well, they're on the lower level, so they cannot excavate. Thankfully, they don't have a snow tile, so they can't spend it to get 3 renown points cheaply. Excavate, they cannot. Now they're going to activate, all right? And so they want to get to this is brutal for me. They are just going to soak up these deep artifact tiles. They want to go to an excavatable tile. That would be this one because they're following the tiebreaker order. So it costs 3. They've got 4. This is going to go back to the supply because no cities, no tents or camps in the city. All right. We go here. They're going to do those 2 spots. Now they have, blue has already been used, so this is going to come on used, but that's a 2 anima tile for them. And now they've got 2 valid spots to go into, right? Yeah, 2 valid spots to go into. So using the tiebreaker, here, 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 and here. I believe I did that correctly. Excavate, they cannot. Activate to a place where I am not. They want to get to a excavatable tile, and thank goodness there is no excavatable tile they can get to right now. So that being the case, they're going to go up a level, I believe. Looking at my thing here, yep, they will go up a level. And so they've got 2 valid tiles to go to. Using the tiebreaker, they're going to go right here. And then excavate, they cannot do that. Man, that was a rough day for me. The Automa got a boatload of actions there. Super rough. All right, so let's start the end of day process. I'm going to draw 3, see if I want to spend a renown point to keep one. White and yellow, 2 different, that's a possibility. I've already got white and I've already got green. I think I'm going to keep that one. It's a risk of up to 2, but I can gain 3. So I think it's worth the risk. Let's do that. These get discarded. All right. Now we move this to the lower right because we're in day 3. We are going to turn all of these things over. They have a planning token, so they're going to reset to 6. All right. That has not been turned over. These get turned over. And these are already turned over because they didn't spend them, but they will flip over their study tokens. I am first player again, thankfully. I move up to 5. Now, do I want to move this prismatic token, or do I want to keep it here because then I can trigger this ability with this study tile? I think I'm going to keep it right here. Now, the other thing I need to keep in mind, okay, is that this is now day 3. And the way it works is that in the original edition of the game, you would have to end your day with 1 EP left to move an extra artifact tile off your guild board onto your ship hold, okay? And in this game, it works a little differently. In day 1, you can do 2. In day 1, you can do 1. In days 2 and 3, you can do 2. Now I'm double checking myself because I think you can do 4 on day 4. Let me just double check that. And to make sure I'm doing this correctly, I want to, I got to make sure, right? You don't want to just go willy-nilly and think that you know what you're doing. So that would be, I'm already trying to think of what I was looking for. Day 2, oh, yes, the removal of the artifact tiles. 12, let's see if it shows it there. That's actually probably going to be at the end. You know what? I'm going to double check that later because it's not going to even affect me right now. I am going to move 2 of these tiles into my ship's hold, which means that I don't have access to them, because I know on day 3 I can do 2 at least. I know that I'm probably not going to use those abilities too much, and I want them to be here for scoring, for being able to do my request cards. And I know that at the end of this day, I could move some off if I get some more, and at the end of day 4, I can move up to 4 off. So I think it's 2, 3, 3, 4 is how it goes. 2 in the first day, 3 on the second and third day, 4 on the fourth day. I'm almost sure that's what it is. Here we go. All right. So, did I miss anything? I'm first player. We moved this. We flipped over all the stuff. All right, let me flip that back over. They got their 6 EP because they had the planning token. I did that. All right, I think we're ready to go with a new logbook event. Here we go. Prismatic Flow. Place an archaeologist from the reserve onto each prismatic artifact tile. Okay, all right, that sounds pretty good. That also helps the Automa too. All right, so this is a prismatic artifact tile. This is a prismatic artifact tile, and I believe that's all we got showing. Nope. That is a prismatic artifact tile. There we go. All right. Well, I'm going first here, right? I am. I'm not in the best position in the world. Another thing I want to point out is that if I reveal any part of the city, I get 1 renown point. The Automa needs to reveal an entire section to be able to get that. But I don't get a renown point for this because I'm not the one that revealed it. I just dropped down because the Automa revealed it. All right. I'm kind of thinking I'd like to utilize all of this stuff over here. There's a lot going on over there. Wow. But I'd have to do those first. I'd have to get rid of, let's see, this one and this one to be able to get to that. And so I can probably do it, but I also have to keep in mind that the Automa, you can never just assume they're going to stay in that area that they're in, right? So what my thought is go ahead and get a prismatic. Okay, so I will spend, actually, oh yeah, I will spend 1. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 1 to move here, okay? Now, I'm on a white tile, and I can spend my guild's power, finally using my guild's power to its best advantage, I hope. That will make me spend my 2nd EP, right? Because to do this, I move 1 archaeologist from each adjacent tile onto my tile. So this is pretty juicy here. I can do this, 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 which is going to allow me to excavate that tile for free. So you can see, no, I cannot, because this has 2 tiles over it. Shucks, but that's all right. It's okay. It's all fine. I'm still set up pretty well for my next turn. Okay, so that was my turn. Now, this is the last card for the Automa deck, so we will shuffle up these other ones just so they're ready for further turns in this day. All righty. Let's see here. Okay, so this is card X12. This is the last one we have not seen. Okay, first off, let's spend 2 renown points. 1, 2. Now we're going to be activating a artifact tile. They are not adjacent to a snow tile, so they will not do red. They will do blue next because it's in the order, and that is going to give them another EP. I do not love those powers for them, so they're back up to 5. Excavate, they cannot. Spend a snow tile to move to my spot, to move a architect from my spot to their spot. They don't have a snow tile. Excavate, they can't. Activate. So now they want to get to a excavatable tile if possible, but there is no excavatable tile that they're adjacent to. So I believe they're going to move up. Yes, they're going to move up. Following this tiebreaker, they would go here All right. Excavate, they cannot. Move to a activate, and not where my spot is. So right now, their only excavatable spot is here. So they will do that. And now they will excavate that tile. Gives them another snow tile that they can potentially use to pay for some of these other things that the cards call for. Okay, so now this will be their leader, archaeologist with them, and then the next archaeologist up there. All right, back to me. Wow. Did I spend my fluent move? I should put something on my board to remind me when I've done my fluent move. I'll do that from now on. But man, I don't know if I did. You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to spend 1 EP to go here. I can bring 3 with me, not all of them. Oops, that goes back there. That comes up here. All right. Then I can do this for free because this is 3 plus 1 is 4. So I've got 4 strength on there. I go ahead and get rid of that. That gives me a prismatic tile, which is lovely. Where will I place this? I've got a white token, but I already have that on white. I might want to do blue. I wouldn't mind getting an extra EP at some point. That would be nice. Let's go ahead and distribute these. I'm going to start here, 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 here. All right. I have 1 EP I've spent. So is that right? 1, 2, yeah, I've spent 1 EP. Would love to get that white tile, and I know I can. I know I can. Yes. So I'm going to flip over this white study token and this prismatic tile in its spot. And now I have 2 anima. I can activate that exalted. I can spend my last EP to bring 1 archaeologist from each adjacent tile onto my tile. So we go that, and now I can excavate that for free. I will do so. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. I gain a reputation, or excuse me, a renown point for doing a piece of tile. Now I've got a level 2 of the white tile, which is splendid. It's going to come on spent because I've already used it. But I already now have the 3 white anima that I need for that card. So I'm set for that one at least. All right. And now I'm going to distribute. I'm distributing amongst 2 spots. So I think I want to be closer to over here. So there, sorry, there, there, and there. Okay, that was my turn. Let's go to the Automa. Let's get rid of the card that's up there now and see what their next card is. It is card X15. I saw this very recently. There it is. 2 EP. That's the official sound of 2 EP being spent. Now activate a level 2 anima. They are adjacent to a snow tile, so they will use red. All right. Which one will they do? Well, they're going to use, they have, oh no, they only have 1. They only have 1. That's a possibility. So they will excavate that, which means, or they will destroy that, which makes this easier for them to do, although they're not quite able to do it yet. Excavate, they are short by 1. Get a study token of blue. They already have blue, so they will instead, well, they have to skip that. They will get a planning. They've been getting a planning almost every single day, so it's giving them more EP to spend. Excavate, they're not quite there yet, right? They cannot excavate that. Let me make sure they are at, they have them and 1. But that's only on an activation action. They cannot excavate now. Now they activate, and they want to be able to excavate down here, right? They're going to go there. Yes. And now they will excavate this because they can do it for 3, and they've got 4. This goes in the bag. This goes on their board. This is a prismatic, so is there anyone? I would put it on white, I believe. Oh, no. I'd put it on green because it's 2 anima, and it would let them be able to activate green, okay? Because it's in numerical order. Now they're going to go, if we're doing this, it would be here, and here, here, and here. All right? And this is all one spot for them. So keep that in mind. They have not yet discovered one full piece of the city there, so they still don't get their RP for that. Okay, now they're going to activate, as long as it's not going to my spot. They're at 2. They want to excavate. They cannot excavate. They want to then go up if they can, and they can. So they're going to go up, I believe, to this tile using this turn order break. They would go here before they would go here or there, right? Yes. So they're going to go up here. And then they cannot excavate that tile. All right. X15, goodbye. I've got 1 EP left, folks. Or did I spend that last EP? I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. I think I might try to set myself up again. I kind of want to keep exploring down here. This one is close. I'd have to get rid of that one. There are options. There are options. I think what I'll do is I'll just spend... Do I want a study token? I need 3 anima of green and red. And right now I have neither. And I need green and blue different here. So... yeah, I think it behooves me to get green. I'll just go ahead and grab a green study. Oh, wait. I can't just do that. I have to do a study token of where my leader is at. I'm not on an artifact tile, so I ain't doing that. Let's just move. Okay? Let's just move here. Could have moved here or there. Did I want to move there? Give me more archaeologists, but I think I need to get up here. All right, so that's it. That's it for me. Automa still has 3 exploration points to spend. Let's take a look. This is card 1A. All right. Here we go. Spend 1 exploration point. Trigger 2 level 2 animas. So this was spent. This was spent. This was not spent. This is green. So this says take a tile from the bag. So I'm going to just randomly draw a tile out of here. If it's an artifact tile, it goes on their board. If it's a snow tile, it goes in their pile. So I'm certainly hoping for a snow tile here. It is a snow tile, thankfully. There's many more snow tiles than artifact tiles in there. And then do a second one, which they cannot because they only have 1 anima on yellow and 1 anima on white. Okay, they can't excavate. They can now spend that snow tile they just got to get 3 renown points in the cheap way. 3 more. They're at 8 renown points, just sitting there with 8. I got a measly 2 that I started the game with. Outrageous. Okay. Now, excavate. They cannot excavate. Activate. They want to go up if they can because there's no excavatable tile next to them. So they will go up here. Okay. Can't excavate. Activate where I am not. So they can excavate that tile. That's where they're going to go. They're going to excavate it. Put it in their pile. And they will go from this to this to this. They're going to go here, here, and here. Correct? I believe that's correct. Okay. Excavate. They cannot excavate. Oh, I think I already did that excavate. All right. That goes goodbye. And that goes goodbye. And then it comes back to nobody, not me. It goes back to them because they still have 2 EP to spend. All right. Back at it. Card number X14. X14. Let's get that up there on the screen. There you go. Spend 2. That's their last 2. Hopefully they don't get any more. I don't think they will. We already know they cannot do any more tiles right now. They cannot excavate. Spend a snow tile to do the action of whatever artifact they're on. Well, they're not on an artifact right now, so that one just gets skipped. They cannot excavate. Now they're going to activate. They want to go here because they can excavate that tile. That is what they will do. Excavate. They get rid of this. This goes to them. It is a prismatic, which means they'll put it on white. All right. Oh, and then let's do this, 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 this. Activate the leader to a space where I am not. They have 1, so they want to get a second. And now excavate. They cannot because this tile is covered by 2. All right. That is the end of the day. Man, this Automa is getting so many more actions than I am. It's brutal. All right. Let me take a look. Last thing to do here, or the first thing to do during the end of the day, is check if I want to try to do one of these cards. White and yellow. 3 blue. No. 2. Well, I've already got... I don't think I have enough really for any of these. I'm going to hope that I can nail all 3 of these. That's my hope. Okay, do I want to discard any of these tiles? I likely do. I likely do. Because, gosh, if I get, I just don't know how many tiles I'm going to excavate. I don't think I need to rush it. We are going to day 4, though. This is the last day, so I don't have a whole lot of time to mess around. Yeah, I think I need to... Okay, so I've got a green off. I've got a yellow off. I need to score whites for sure. Maybe this goes back to me here. Do I just take a prismatic one off and save this one? I think I'm going to save this one. And then I'll take this one as well. It's a risk, right? I have hardly anything that I can now trigger there, but I want to be able to score these tiles. So I'm just being prudent, all right? They have a planning token. They go back up to 6. I do not. I could spend an EP to get my own planning token. I just have not used that. That goes back to 5, all right? We move this here. We flip over everything that was quote unquote spent or used. Get access to all that again. All right. And now we do our final logbook event, all right, for day 4. Let me get rid of that solo card. Here we go. Safe Haven. Place an archaeologist on each Nunatak tile. Well, all right. Let's see how that plays into anything. So we place an architect on every Nunavak tile. There are some of those left for sure. Got one. Let's start from the bottom. Here, 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 and 2 more. Wow. A lot more archaeologists came out on the board. We'll see how they impact things, if any. Oh, first player does go back to the Automa for day 4. All right. With their, right now, 6 exploration points. We'll see what it turns into. All right, here we go. Last day, folks. 4A. 4A. Okay. Spend 1 exploration point. Boom. Trigger a level 2 anima tile. First would be red, but they are not adjacent to a snow tile. Then it would be blue. So they will do that to get right back up to 6 exploration points. They cannot excavate. Spend a, that's a bummer. Spend a snow tile to move a, oh, that doesn't come from me. It just means, does it mean from a, let me make sure it means from a adjacent spot. I believe it does. And if that's the case, they just wouldn't do that. It's almost for sure what it is. Yeah, it shows it right there. So they won't do that. Excavate, no. Activate. They want to get to a excavatable tile, and right now this is the lowest one that is available for them, and this is going to help them here in a minute too, because they're getting rid of this tile. So this goes goodbye. This gets excavated. Okay. Just add to the stack of the red animas here. Now, this being the direction going from left to right, bottom to top, oops, stay there. It would be here first. Yep. Okay. Or wait a minute. Boom, 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 boom. Here first, right? Yeah, that's comes before that. All right. I think I did that correctly. Excavate. They cannot. Activate to a place where I am not. All right. Well, they couldn't excavate that tile. They could excavate this tile. And they have only one archaeologist, so there's no question. They're going to move to where they can get a second archaeologist, and now they will excavate that tile. Okay. These two spots here, have they revealed a full one? I don't think they have yet. Let's put this on their green spot. This was a prismatic tile, but actually, I think this prismatic, oh no, this would go on to yellow, because yellow right now is the one that didn't have access to, is that correct? Yeah, I will go on yellow. All right, now we are going to do this and this, and then that would stay right there. Okay, that was them. Now let's see what I'm going to do for my first turn of the last day. All right, first of all, let's look at what artifact tile I'm on. I'm on the Harmony tile, which means if I spend my guild token, I could, after excavating and allocating, I could take an archaeologist from the reserve and place it on my tile. I'm not in a place to be able to activate or to excavate that tile yet, so I will not do that. The one interesting thing is I can easily get over there and do that one. And that probably is my best. Oh no, I couldn't. Oh yeah, 1, 2, yeah. I think I'm going to do that because these tiles are the way to go. So I'm going to spend my fluent, and I'm going to denote that by putting my camp on my board, right? That's going to remind me that I've used my fluent move. All right. So for that fluent move, I go 1, 2. Now I'm in here. And then for my second exploration point, I move here because I know he's going to snatch it next turn. Now this is a free excavation for me. This is going to go here. I have revealed a city tile, or a city illustration. I'm going to do that. And now I've got 2 yellow that I could trigger for the Harmony, which I think I might do now. I think I might do that now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, am I going to do that? Yeah, I think I will. Okay, so I've got these 3 spots that I can kind of go to. And where am I most likely to excavate again? Maybe over here? I don't know. Maybe actually over here. Maybe that. So here we go. I'm going to go right here. One's going to go right there. One's going to go right there. One more is going to come to me. And then I'll go ahead and I will spend that Harmony. It says after excavating and allocating, take one from the reserve and put it on my leader's tile. So we'll go right there. Now, Automa could come along and just snatch some or all of those up. You know, it is possible. But I feel like that was my best move. Yeah, okay. So that was my 2 EP spent. We go to Automa. They are revealing card 5A. Boom. So let's evaluate that. 2 EP are spent. Now they want to do a level 2. They're still not adjacent to a snow tile, so they will not do red. They have done blue already, so they're going to activate green, and that means they're going to take a tile from the bag. And once again, I'm hoping this is a snow tile, but there are some artifact tiles in here. Thankfully, that's not one of them. All right. Excavate, they cannot. Spend a snow token to activate. Well, they will do that. All right. So they have 2 architects. So they want to get to an excavatable tile or move up. So they're going to move up. They're going to move up right here. That is their only option. All right. They cannot excavate this tile. Activate. They're going to go to one of these 2 tiles. Using this as a tiebreaker, they're going to go here. All right. Excavate. They can now excavate this tile. It costs them 3. Okay. Goodbye. This is going to go onto their board as a blue. Alrighty. Which they have not used, have they? Yeah. No. Yes, they did. They used it. That goes there. Spent. All right. They're going to go using this here, their power for that, and then there. Activate, they have 1, so they want to go to an adjacent. Excavate, they cannot. This one's covered by 2. Activate to a place where I am not. They want to move up because there's no excavatable tile there. And now they will excavate this tile. This goes bye-bye. This, comes onto their board as a white tile, which has not been spent yet. All right. So it comes on active. This is going to go here, here, and here. And that's it for them. All right. They still have 4 EP to spend, though, whereas I have 3. What can I do? What can I do? I'd love to be able to, let's see where I'm at. I've got white already, so that's locked down. Green or red, I am sadly bereft of. So maybe, no, I have 1 green. So do I try to get, if I was able to get like a level 2, ugh. This would obviously be easy for me to excavate. I can just spend 1 EP, go there and excavate it, which would give me a renown point. And you can't gift renown points in the mouth. You know, I'm not going to probably be able to evaluate all of my request cards, which means I will lose some renown too, which I don't love. Looking up there, I have that pretty well taken care of. I'm looking at the decree cards there and the request cards that I have, trying to see what's going to be the best for me. But I almost feel like I need to go for what is in front of me. I just need to take what I can. So I spend an EP, I go here, and I'm going to be able to excavate that for free, which I do. This is going to give me a renown point for uncovering a city. This is now, I've got 4 white. So that actually, I might be able to use these prismatic tiles for other things then. I won't need them for white. All right, so that will go there. I can only get 1 more tile that I can take off, right? Because I can only use 4. I want to go, are there any of these tiles that are close to being excavatable? This one is. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go here, here, there, and here. Let's see if I can steal that one, all right, with my last 2 EP, because I think I'm going to stop there. Do I want to use my last? white, I can spend my second EP to bring these two archaeologists here. No, I need these last two, I think. One, oh boy, am I going to be able to do that? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it because somehow I need to get to this tile with three, and I'm going to need to spend one to get these to me. So that would be one EP. If I did it right now, I'd be here. I've already done my fluent move, so I wouldn't be able to go from here to excavate that. This would not be an option either, because that's still 2 movement for me as well. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to excavate another tile, so maybe I'll be thinking about study tokens, things along those lines. Do I just go ahead and do that now? Maybe I'll just get a study token. I can't just get study tokens. It has to be the one that I'm on. I keep trying to just get them for free. Well, I was going to spend an EP, but still not valid. I'm going to save those for my last turn. Okay, let's go to the Automa. We are looking at 3A now. All right. Spend 1 exploration point. Get 5 renown points for nothing. Again, disgusting. They are now at 13 renown points. Excavate. They cannot. Spend a tile to excavate. They cannot, so they will not. They can't excavate. They can activate. All right, so they want to move to a place that has an adjacent archaeologist, which means they're going to go here based on that. Excavate. They can't excavate this tile. It's covered by 3 others. Activate to a spot where I am not. There is no excavatable tile next to them, so they'll move up. Okay? And they can't excavate that tile. All right, here we go. My last, well, I could do 2 more turns of 1. I could. I don't know that that's going to do much for me. Again, I don't think there's any way for me to get up there. Oh, now this is an interesting thought. This is an interesting thought. Yes. 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 Oh no, I haven't used my guild token. Okay, I think I can do it. So I'm going to spend 1 EP right now to do Exalted, bring all of these archaeologists to me. Then my last EP is going to go here. I will move here. And now, oh, that's a white guild tile. Oh, I thought it was blue. I thought it was going to give me another. So I probably need to do that over again. There. Shucks, I thought I was going to do something really cool. If that was a blue tile, it would have been really cool, but it isn't. So instead, I think I'm just going to look at study tokens. I had 2 EP to spend, right? I think I still had 2 EP to spend. So let me look at study tokens. White, I'm covered already. I've got 3 white just with those. Green, I need another white, which I have right here, and green, so I can do that one. Let me make sure that's right. I've got 3 white just in tiles. I've got 4 white actually in tiles, so that's covered. I need 2 with green and white, so I've got that and that. And now my last one is 3 anima in red and or green. I've got none in green, but I think I can use both of these, and another green would let me do that one. So I might be able to fulfill all of my requests. I hope that's right. I'm going to get a green study token right here. And maybe, do I play it safe and just get another study token of red? Why not? It can't hurt. That'll be my last turn of the game. All right. That's also going to be good for that decree tile because you get more points for your different study tokens. All right. Wait a minute. I keep cheating. I keep cheating. I keep wanting to make study tokens so easy, and they're not that easy, Mike. So instead, what I'll do is I'll spend 1 EP. I've tried making that mistake like 3 times in this game. I'll move here. Now I'm on a red artifact. I will go ahead and get a red study token now. All right, I finally did it right. So that's it for me for the game. I'm going to end up moving all 3 of these tiles off at the end. But the Automa's still got quite a bit to go. They're sitting at 3 EP. Here we go. This is card 2A that they're going to be evaluating. All right. They move down 2. I like that. They're going to activate. Are they next to a... They are next to a snow tile, so they're finally going to activate that one. Which one is it going to be? There are 2 adjacent. Boom, 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 boom. This is going to be the one that they're going to explode. And now they're in a great position because they can excavate this tile. All right. So this is going to go bye-bye. This is going to go bye-bye. And this goes to Automa. All right. They've already spent their green, so it comes on inactive. We're going to go here, here, and here. If they have 0 to 2, which they do, spend a snow tile to add one from the reserve, add an archaeologist from the reserve onto their tile. So they did that. Excavate, not on a valid tile, but they're going to be here. They're going to be going right over there, I believe. Get a study token that they do not already have in number order. So they've got red, blue, white. So they would get green. All right. The planning token is immaterial in day 4. Excavate, they can't activate to a place where I am not. They want to go to a tile they can excavate. The lowest possible, they go right there, and they're going to excavate that tile. Did they reveal? They did not reveal a whole section of the city yet, but they're getting close. Okay, so they are going to do this and this, because these are 2 spots. They still have 1 EP left. All right, let's see if they may end up getting another EP with this card. You never know. This is a crummy card to get right now. They're going to go through 2 cards. All right, 6A. They're going to spend the EP, but they're going to go through 2 cards because of the last row. Activate a tile. The next one that they can activate is the Exalted tile, and they're not going to have to pay for it. So this means that they are going to move 1 archaeologist from each adjacent tile onto their tile. They are right here. So that's adjacent, that's adjacent, that's adjacent, and that's adjacent. Wow! Not great. Can't excavate. If they have, well, they've got way too many archaeologists to evaluate that one, so they can't excavate. Now they get a planning token, which again is immaterial, and they're going to activate. Now, they've got a boatload. They want to go to a place that they can excavate. There is no tile directly adjacent to them that that they can excavate. So it's going to move to a upper level tile, which according to this will be here. They go here, and he takes 3 archaeologists with him. And then it says excavate. They can't, but now we have another whole card that they're going to evaluate and not have to spend the EP to do it. So here we go. This is 7A. There we go. Spend the EP. The immaterial. Actually, they wouldn't. They don't even account for that. Do a artifact tile. The only one they have not done yet is yellow, so they're going to flip that over, and yellow means that you add 1 archaeologist onto their tile. So it's basically just a feast here for him. Cannot excavate that tile. can't evaluate the next action because they have a lot more than 2 archaeologists with them. They can't excavate. They are going to now activate. They cannot go to a tile that they can excavate that is adjacent to, oh yeah, they can. They can go right here. They can excavate this tile. So the leader and 3 archaeologists, I think that was still there, are going to move here, right? And they're going to excavate that tile. Goodbye. This goes to them. Just add another to the yellow. That's at least been spent. So now they can't trigger any more because they've done them all. All right. We're going to do this, this, this. Activate. They want to go to a adjacent tile to get more archaeologists. Excavate. They can't excavate this one. Activate to a place that I am not. They are not adjacent to a tile that can be excavated, so they'll move up. Excavate. They cannot excavate this tile. It's covered by 2 others. That could have been much worse for me, actually. That really could have been much worse for me. So, let's see how things go with endgame here. We have both played through all of our turns. We're at end of day 4. So, let's see how this goes. The Automa has a base of 13 points that they're starting with. I've got 4, okay? So there is an order of doing the Automa's points. Let's just make sure we're doing that correctly. You do the RP during the game, we got that. Then we're gonna do the decree cards, and then we're gonna do their request card. Okay, so this says they get 1 renown point for every anima of yellow. So let's go ahead and make sure we get all these. So these prismatic tiles are going to go in their own stack. This here, I've already got the study tiles in their own stack. That's prismatic. This is white. This blue, they have a lot of blue anima. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Green, they've got, actually they have 5 blue when you count that. They've got 3, 4 anima in green. And red, they are loaded. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 anima in red. So if their card gives them a lot of points for reds, that's not good for me. All right, so yellow, they're going to get 2 renown because they have 2 there. So let's put back those 2. Actually, put back the 3 and get a 5, right? They get 2. All right. They get a renown for every study token that they have. I believe, let me double check myself, but I'm pretty sure that's what that decree card stands for. But hey, we've got them here. We might as well double check them. Make sure that we are doing them correctly. Every study token in your possession earns you 1 RP, so they're going to get 4 for that. Boom, 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 boom. And now, for the different artifacts that they have, if they have 5 different, they'll get 5. Well, they definitely have 5 different, so they're getting 5 more there. So, right now, they're sitting at 24, and we have their request card to go. Fingers crossed. Let me actually get rid of this solo card sitting there. Okay, so this is a card that is looking for 3 anima amongst all of their tiles, including their prismatic tiles. So if they have 3 or more anima on 1 to 2 of their artifacts, it's 1 point, 3 to 4, 3 and 5 plus 6. So 3 anima. Let's see. They've got 3 in prismatic, so that's 1. Let's just spend those. They've got 3 and more in red, so that's 2. They've got 3 in blue, so that's 3. They've got 3 in green, so that's 4. They've got 2 in white, and they don't have 3 in white or yellow. So they have 4 different. That's going to give them 3 RP. Let's turn those 2 back and take another 5. That's going to put them at 10, 25, 27. All right, so the Automa ends with 27. We'll see, folks. It's not looking great for me. I have 4 that I begin with. Now let me put my tiles kind of into, actually, these would have come off my board at the end of the day. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. All right, I start with the these decree cards as well. So I have 1, 2, 3 yellow. Correct? Actually, can I count these as that too? I think I can, because you're not spending. You're not spending. Now the Automa works differently. They can only use their prismatic tiles for things that are specifically, but I should be able to use those for this, because these you don't spend. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow, so that gives me 5 renown. All right. The next one is the number of study tokens in my possession, which is 2, so I'll give back 3 to take a 5. Okay, and then we've got the number of different artifacts that I have, 4 or 5 different. I've got 1, 2, 3, let me move these out of the way. 1, 2, 3, and these can both count as the other 2, all right? We have white, yellow, green. This can be blue, and this can be, you're not seeing them, but they're there. Those could be 5, so I would get 5 renown for that. Now I look at my decree cards, and here's where I have to spend my tile. So let's look at this. Right here, this is saying 3 anima in white. So I've got 4 anima in white right there. Do I instead spend only 1 of these and this study token? Does it matter? Yeah, because here I'm wasting, because the other one I have is 1. So I'm going to do this. I spend these 3, I get 6. Okay, so that one is done. Alrighty. This one gives me 5 points if I have 3 anima in green or red. Okay, so green I've got here, and I can use these 2 as green. Unfortunately, it's going to mess me up for this one. Yeah, it's going to mess me up for that one. Oh, no. I think I'm good. Okay, so here's 3 anima in green, right? So that's going to cost me, or give me, 5 renown points. All right, my last one. 2 in white, 2 different. White and green. So I've got, oh wait a minute, why did I think I was going to be able to do this? Yeah, I don't think I can do this because I used this for the other one. But maybe I would have been, oh no, because that one was worth more. So I don't think I can actually do this one because I've got yellow and white. This card I did not fulfill. So this might be the difference in the game, or close to it. Yeah, I think it's going to be close to it. So I actually lose a renown point for this one because I could not fulfill it at the end of the game. So I lose 1. Folks, I think we've got our final scores. I've done those. I did these. I'm at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26 to the Automas 10, 25, 26, 27. 27 points! Are you kidding me? They beat me by 1. Look, I feel like I did okay. I'm gonna take that as, you know, not an embarrassing showing for me, hopefully. But most importantly, hopefully that gave you an idea on how this new Automa solo mode works in the 2nd edition of Ice. And if you were familiar with the game, you saw those familiar aspects, the new action, kind of how the slight tweaks to the other things. If you're brand new to Ice, while I wasn't trying to make this a how to play video, I think you can almost use it as one, although just keep in mind that certain things are different with the Automa, of course. But it should at least give you a very good idea on how the game plays. So if that was something that got your interest, or if you were already interested and are even more so after seeing that razor thin loss that I took, then check out the Gamefound campaign below and see what they have to offer. Ice is a game that I really, really enjoy, and I like the changes they've made here. Really, really good stuff. All right, folks, well, I think that's going to do it for me in this solo playthrough sponsored by This Way Games. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.